All right, good morning. This is algebra. We are in chapter 8. We have previously talked about whether the a, which is the number after the equal sign, the whole number, it could be a fraction, whether it makes my parabola skinnier or fatter. And we talked a little bit about where does the graph increase, like where does it go uphill, upward? Where does the graph decrease? Where does it go downward? So, a quadratic function is also called a parabola. And our SWBAT, that means students will be able to identify key features of a quadratic. So, number one, let's look at these words. Finding the vertex. The vertex is where the turning point of the parabola. So it's a turning point of the parabola. The axis of symmetry. So here's my parabola. Let me label them on the graph. Parabola. I'm sorry, the vertex. So the vertex is right here. My axis of symmetry, and this vertex, by the way, is 1, -4. 1, -4. And I write it as an ordered pair. Next vocab word, have axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is an imaginary line that cuts the parabola in half. So my axis of symmetry on this graph, like think where this parabola would be cut in half. It would be cut in half straight down the middle. I want you to draw a dotted line straight down the middle of the parabola because the left side matches the right side. If I folded this parabola in half, the left side matches the right side. So the left side matches the right side. And I give it an equation. This dotted line has an equation. It touches x at 1. I call it x equals 1. My axis of symmetry is x equals 1. It's x equals, and it's the first number in the vertex. Whatever the first number in the vertex is also the axis of symmetry. So my vertex is 1, -4. My axis of symmetry is that first number, the 1. And I'll even circle it in blue so you make that connection. The Y-intercept, vocab word. Back in graphing, many chapters ago, it was if you plug in 0 for x, and then you solve for y. But here, in ax squared plus bx plus c, the y-intercept is the c. When a parabola is in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c, the number that c, the end number, that's my y-intercept. For today, I'm just going to look at the graph. Where does my parabola cross the y-axis? Here's my y-axis. What number does it cross at? -3. That's my y-intercept. Let's label it. Y-intercept. The x-intercept, we did this last week. The x-intercept is called the roots, the zeros, the solutions. I'm going to write all those synonyms. My roots, my zeros, and my solutions, and that's going to be where it crosses the x-axis. This is at x equals -1 and x equals 3. See my red? X-intercept. Where does my parabola cross the x-axis? -1 and +3. All right. So my y-intercept is at -3, 0, -3. My x-intercepts are at -1 and +3. So I'm looking at my parabola and I'm naming things. Oh, that's an x-intercept. This is my vertex. This crosses the y-axis. That's my y-intercept. My axis of symmetry, x equals 1. It's at 1. It cuts my parabola in half. All of these things are really important. Let's just fill in the table of values because you just look at it. When x is at -1, what's y? When x is at -1, what's y? X, -1, comma what? What's the order pair? Look at it, guys. When x is at -1, where's my line? 0. When x is at 0, this is the 0 line. Where's my line? Where's my parabola? It's lower. Right here. When x is 0, comma what? Oh, 0, comma -3. When my x is at 1, where's my dot? Now I'm at x is 1. Where's my dot at? Oh, it's down here. What's that? -4. When my x is at 2, where's my dot? Someone new, not Ashley. Here's when my x is at 2. Where's my line at though? It's not there. It's where? -3. Oh, look, they're starting to match up again. All parabolas do this. When x is at 3, what's my y? X, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0. And yeah, there's a pattern in the table of values. Because it's a parabola, then the y values are going to be the same because it's a curve shape. So that's all of number 1. I gave you a graph, and I told you what each little thing was. These vocab words, you need to know what they are. So you need to have them, you need to start learning them and remembering them. Let's go to number 2. Standard form. ax squared plus bx plus c. If a is greater than 0, positive, then it's an upward graph, or upward parabola. Let's put parabola. Let's use the vocab words. Which is a smile. If A is less than 0, negative, this is downward. Frown. Downward frown. Okay. Now, 2x squared plus 16x plus 39. The axis of symmetry will be the line that cuts it in the middle. That, I know there must be a better word. Down the middle. Okay? So, to find the vertex, this is something new today. To find the vertex. So I want to let you know that in this graph, 2x squared plus 16x plus 39, A equals 2, B equals 16, and C equals 39. A, B, and C. A equals 2, B equals 16, C equals 39. Okay. So, to find the vertex, here's the formula to find the vertex. I use A, B, and C. The x value is negative b over 2 times a. So, whatever number b is, goes in the numerator, negative of b. And then I have a fraction bar. My denominator is you multiply the a number times 2. 2 times a. So this is going to be, my x value is negative b. B is 16. Negative b, negative 16. B is 16. Over, in the denominator, 2 times a. 2 times 2. 2 times a. A is 2. 2 times 2. Okay? So, negative 16 over 4. What's that? Negative 4. My x value is negative 4. So my vertex is going to be like negative 4, comma, I don't know, I haven't found y yet. So my x value I just found was negative 4. Negative b over 2a. Plug in your value for x into your equation. 2x squared plus 16x plus 39 to find my y value. Because y equals f of x is the same thing as y. 2x squared plus 16x plus 39. But I know that x is negative 4. So I'm going to plug negative 4 in to, and instead of x, you put in what you just found, the negative 4. Plus 16 times 4 plus 39. I'm going to do negative 4 squared first. That's the process, order of operations, exponents. Negative 4 squared is 16 times 2. This is going to be a big, giant number. We're not going to graph it, thank goodness. 2 times 16 plus 16 times 4 plus 39. Oh, right. Oh, my gosh. Thank you for not letting me make that mistake. Giant numbers. 2 times 16, 16 plus 16 is 32. Plus 16 times negative 4 is negative 64 plus 39. And I just go and I add them all together. 32 plus negative 64. Do that math. So 32 plus negative 64, what is it? Negative 32, good job. Plus 39, that's just 7. We're going to be doing a lot of negative b over 2a today. And by the way, the axis of symmetry would be the first number here. X equals negative 4. That's the line that would cut my parabola in half. So here's my vertex, and here's my axis of symmetry. Negative b over 2a. You're going to be doing it a lot today and in homework. We're going to turn the page. Stay with me. The axis of symmetry, I don't know yet because I haven't found the vertex. So I'm going to do x equals, let's do the vertex first. Negative b over 2a. A is negative 2. B is negative 16. C is negative 28. Negative b over 2a. What if my b is already negative? I already have a negative sign in front of my 16. Negative b. You guys, b is already negative. How do I do this negative b? Negative b. Negative negative 16. Over 2 times negative 2. Careful. 16 over 4. By the way, the vertexes are not always 4. This is just like, you know.
Wouldn't that still be negative 4?
No.
2 times negative.
Because, wait, positive 16. Ay, ay, ay. Good job. She does. I better stop making mistakes. I don't want to be losing my money, right? So, that's my, now to find y, plug negative 4 into negative 2, negative 4 squared, minus 16 times negative 4, minus 28. Into the equation. My original standard form equation. You have to find the vertex first. Well, my axis of symmetry I just found, because it's the first number in my vertex. Negative 4, comma, I don't know. All right. Negative 4 times 2. Negative 2 times 16 plus 64 minus 28. All right, negative 2 times 16 is negative 32 plus 64 minus 28. Positive 32 minus 28. 4. Nice. Negative 4 comma 4 is my vertex. My axis of symmetry is the first number in my vertex, the x value. And I put x equals in front of it. So we're focusing today on axis of symmetry and the vertex. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Okay, we have time. All right, let's keep going. Practice number 1. Identify the vertex, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, x-intercepts. We can't tell because they're decimals. Look at that. So we can't really say. I don't want you to do x-intercepts for this one. But my y-intercept is what? Where's my parabola crossing the y-axis? What number is that up there? 5. My y-intercept is 0, 5. And then you just look at the ordered pairs. When my x value is at -4, go to -4 along the x. Where's my y? Where's that? 5. When my x value is at -2. Oh, what's that? When my x value is at -2, go to -2. And where's my curved line? -3. That's my vertex, isn't it? Because that's where the turning point. -3. That's my vertex. -2, -3. Vertex. Y-intercept. When my graph x is 0, you go up. It's a 5. That's my y-intercept. My axis of symmetry is the first number in my vertex, x equals -2. And I'm going to draw it. It's a dotted line that cuts my parabola in half. That's called my axis of symmetry. X equals -2. Okay, let's do one from your homework. So there's 2 parts to this. I'm going to talk to you about the front side. The back side is you have to make a table of values like we did last week for you. So, x squared minus 4x plus 1. Remember, my vertex is -b/2a. My axis of symmetry is the x value. And I say x equals... All right. Vertex. A equals... Oh, what's my... Let's do number 1. What's a? What number is in front of x squared? 1. B equals -4. C equals 1. Negative b over 2a. -4 over 2 times 1. Negative b is negative already. Negative b, -4 over 2 times a. 2 times 1. I'm not going to mess up now. -4 is 4 over +2. X equals 2. That's going to be my axis of symmetry. But I don't know what my other number in my vertex is. How do I find my other number in my vertex? The y value. Yeah, f of x is the same thing as y equals. So I'm going to plug in this 2 into this top equation to find out y equals. What is the y value? So I'll do it right here. Y equals 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 1. Go ahead and do it. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 8 plus 1. My vertex is 2, -3. minus 8 plus 1. Negative 4 plus 1. Negative 3. Okay. So on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you need to find the vertex by doing A equals 1, B equals 6, negative 6 over 2 times 1. Then you find your vertex, and your axis of symmetry is the first number in your vertex. So I was able to do number 2 pretty quickly because negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. To find the y value myself, I plug 3 in. Plug negative 3 into y equals negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3. 9 minus 18. Negative 9. And there's my vertex. Negative 3, negative 9. So I would do that for 3, 4, 5, and 6. I want to talk to you about the back side because there's 4 problems on the back side. You have to make your own table of values. We know from last week how to do 1, 2, and 3. You pick numbers like negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. But number 4 is a little bit different. So I want to focus on number 4. We're still picking the same numbers. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Negative x squared plus 4x is my math problem. That's my equation. So I actually need to do that work. Negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2. And I already ran out of room. Maybe I write too big. Negative 4 plus negative 8. You got to be good at your x squareds, right? Do negative 2 squared first. That's positive 4. And then since there's a negative in front of it, it becomes negative 4. Right? Negative 12. And it's going to be really hard for me to graph negative 1, negative 12. I wonder why my graph looks like this. Negative 1, I have to plug in. Negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1. Woo! Negative x squared plus 4x. Negative 1 plus negative 4. Negative 5. Again, why does the graph look like this? Bugs me. I still can't graph negative 1, negative 5. It's off the graph. 0. Negative 0 squared plus 4 times 0. This is zeros all around. Negative 1, negative 5. It'd be like down here. Like I can't. Plug in 1. Negative 1 squared plus 4 times 1. Negative 1 plus 4. 3. Huh? Hold on. over 1 up 3. 2. Negative 4 plus 8, positive 4, over 2 up 4. Huh. I didn't even get my, to know exactly where my vertex is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the vertex using my formula negative b over 2a. A equals negative 1, b equals 4. Negative 4 over 2 times negative 1. Negative 4 over negative 2. 2. Looks like my vertex is going to be 2 comma, I don't know. So, plug it in. Y equals negative x squared plus 4 times 2. So I'm plugging in my 2 in for x to find out what y equals. Negative 4 plus 8. Y equals 4. My vertex is 2 comma 4. So my graph, even though I wasn't able to finish it, is going to kind of look like this. And then it'll come down the other side. I only was able to do half of it. But I'm looking for, on number 4, this was the hardest one, do negative b over 2a to find the vertex for all of them. I think that's easier than the table values. 1, 2, and 3, we did problems just like that last week, so maybe you remember, or you want to look back at your notes. But the axis of symmetry is going to be this line cutting down the middle of the parabola. X equals 2. I draw a dotted line myself. So 1, 2, and 3, you can do the negative b over 2a, or you can do the problems like we did, the graphs like we did last week where you pick table of values. So this is good review for last week too. Your problems are both pages. I'm going to stop the video.